I don't know. I mean, I just hit the door, so I don't know that there's going to be anything easier.
Either way, it would just change the verbiage of the charge itself, but he would go to jail regardless.
And you were right there, right? You were right there. Yeah. And you saw him shoving her in the door.
100%.
It's probably on my body camera too.
This house, man, let me see, look, this is my fucking house, stop!
Separate!
He's not being an adult.
He is like flipping out on me. I mean, he's over here causing a scene. Hey!
Oh man, he's getting violent.
But right now, I just need you to turn around for me.
Sir, I'm not your enemy. I'm not trying to...
She freaking attacked me.
I may not be a sergeant, but I know the law. This guy's being like super aggressive. He's like shaking mad.
Was that completely out the door? It happened so fast, I don't remember.
Shaking.
He's still shaking.
No, I know. First contact, shaking mad.
Yeah.
We're not here to attack you. We're here to help you, okay? Like I don't know what I'm talking about. We're both taking a deep breath because we're both worked up. Because he's getting heated right now. And if I have to arrest him, we're gonna have to fight him. We're gonna have to fight him. The law's the law, man. I'm sorry, sir, but this is like, she told me she has, so.
Mom, the police are sitting right here. Can you explain to the police officer, without me saying anything, why you had to come down here?
Okay.
This is Deputy Mieburg.
Hi.
Hey, what's going on?
I had to come down there because that young lady, she is just crazy. She got him all upset. He has PTSD. And I had to come down there from Sylva, North Carolina because he was so upset. And she would not stop.
Okay. Has he, have they laid hands on each other at all?
I know that he had a bruised arm.
I've already spoke to the desk sergeant this morning. The desk sergeant said she cannot come
tried
back.
to push him,
That's why I'm trying to figure out how
the
you can
door.
override that.
Sir, if you want to talk
to
to
the
my
bedroom.
sergeant, you're more than welcome to.
I do.
Okay.
But anyway, it's she
Okay.
just needs to stay away from him.
Sir, I'm not your enemy. I'm not trying
No,
to...
she freaking attacked me, and that's
Well,
what
listen,
stopped
I'm
this
not
whole
your
thing.
enemy. I'm not here to...
I know. I'm not mad at you. I
You're
don't
sure
want her
taking it
here.
out on me.
No, I know I'm not. Now you're saying I am. I don't want her here because of the stuff she did.
Listen, I understand that, and I'm trying to explain to you why I've made the decisions I have.
I called the desk sergeant this morning. Actually, I spoke to them because I wanted to know what my rights were because I didn't want this going down anymore. And instead, somehow, this turned into her saying domestic violence.
No, it wasn't her. It was you calling this morning, sir.
Oh.
You calling this morning was domestic violence.
Yeah.
So this is, we're not here to attack you. We're here to help you, okay? Let me get my sergeant on the phone.
Can you please get him over here?
Yes, of course I can.
Because she hasn't,
But there's two sides to every story.
she
Listen,
hasn't been here, and then she's been doing threats.
Okay.
And then she...
listen, he heard your side of the story this morning, and I heard hers.
I want him over here. I want her removed. Because I want a third party that has nothing to do with this over here. And her ex, I want him off the property right now. With that Toyota, he doesn't belong here. He has no residency here. He needs to be gone.
He doesn't have residency here, but she does, so she has permission to give him...
I don't care. He does not belong here. I do have a say in that. I want him gone. Now.
$776, $773. I need you here. This guy's being very aggressive. He said he spoke with you this morning, and you said that they were not allowed here.
Let me fix it. I just got in the office. Do you want me to test walk with that person?
Hey. This guy's being like super aggressive. So I need you here like as soon as you can. Cause, well, no, not 1018, but he is like flipping out on me because you apparently talked to him this morning and you said that they weren't allowed back here. But you only had his side of the story, and I explained that to him, and he's like shaking mad. Well, from what she's told me, she lives here. So, I mean, it's two sides of the story, and I explained that to him. I said, she's saying she does live here, you're saying she does not live here, and yeah, but I need you here, man. Alright. Yeah, he talked to me. He's over here causing a scene, so. Yeah, I know. He's being very hostile with me.
And he just locked me out of the bedroom and he locked all the doors.
Like this.
Well, I've got my sergeant coming out here this morning, right now, because apparently he called my sergeant this morning, and from his side of the story, my sergeant told him you guys weren't allowed back. That's not true, because he told him that you haven't lived here in months and months, and so that you haven't established residency, which in that case my sergeant would be correct. But you have been here,
yes.
You have been living here, so you have every right to this residency. So you have every right to get your things. However, if he does tell you you can't take certain things because he says they're his,
Well, yeah.
then you can't take them.
Well, that's a battle. But she's got all the documents to establish residency.
Oh, no, I totally believe you. But he was told by my sergeant this morning that you were not allowed back here and you could be criminally trespassed. So my sergeant's coming back here to fix everything. Because he does not want to hear what I have to say. He said, how can you override your sergeant, what your sergeant says? And it's like, well, you gave my sergeant your side of the story, which I explained to him, and you gave me your side of the story. So at this point, it's just his word against yours.
All she wants to do is leave.
I totally
and he's not
understand.
being an adult.
I totally understand, but I'm waiting on my sergeant to come here, which he was supposed to be getting her out already, but
He locked her out of the room so she can't get her stuff.
Don't leave the house. Go back in the house.
it's locked.
He's locking
Leave
everything
mom.
up.
Tell mom to stay in the house. Tell mom to stay in the house. I don't know where.
Can't even get a hold of her because you can't get in there.
So like at this point, it's going to be a courthouse issue, since he's being so hostile and aggressive and saying that. Hey!
Oh man, he's getting violent. Help!
Dude,
I got my foot right here. She's
No,
the one.
what are
No,
you
you're
doing?
the one being aggressive.
No, she was not.
what are you doing?
No, you told her fucking.
You're being
stop the
aggressive,
door.
you little baby.
I did not tell her.
I need
Don't
another
calm
unit,
down.
1018,
Calm down.
1018.
Him up.
No, they're
Let her
taking
out.
fucking shit
Let
out of
her
here.
out.
It's not true, Carl.
I wanted her out until the sergeant gets here.
No, listen, you need to calm down for a freaking second. You can't
I
shout.
asked for this to stop.
Hey, may I talk for a second, please?
But you let them clear everything out.
Things, Carl.
Listen,
Man, can you
hey,
shut the
both
fuck
of you, stop!
Can you let them out
Stop!
and I talk to you?
You need
only?
to talk to me separately, and you guys need to
Can
go.
they get out? Can they get out, please?
You need to
I'm
calm
begging
down.
you,
Take
please.
a breath.
This is why I talked to the sergeant this morning.
Listen, I need you to calm down, and I need you to let me talk. The sergeant is on his way right now. And actually, he's on his way code, because you tried to slam her in the fucking...
No, you didn't even see that. She freaking jumped back on the
Stop.
door. My foot, I showed you, my foot was down there.
Stop! Do you want something solved? No, sir, you need to come right
Mom,
back
Are
here.
you still hearing this? Can you get Dad? Can you get Dad to listen to this?
You need to listen to me. I told you, if you have a problem and she can't take something, you need to talk to me.
You got him over here telling me I'm a fucking baby when he don't even know what the hell ever even went on in this? You
It
got
doesn't-
her telling me that I'm a
it
fucking
doesn't-
freak because I have PTSD, following me outside, telling
Would
me,
you let me talk?
march on, soldier, march on.
Would you let me talk? Okay, we're both taking a deep breath because we're both worked up. If you say
No, she's freaking
would
abusive.
you let me talk, man?
I want him gone.
Please stop.
No, that door, no, that right there, I don't have to put up with that shit in this house.
Stop.
Man, let me, see, look.
Stop.
Look, this is my fucking house, stop.
Separate.
When the sergeant gets here,
You're not locking me in this house with you, and I'm having a
oh, I ain't
conversation.
locking you in the house, I'm shutting the door so they stop. You can leave the door unlocked.
Stop.
Can they stop?
Yes, everyone
Take
needs
those
to
chairs
stop.
out. Take those chairs out, those belong to her.
Everyone needs to stop for a second. If you don't want something to go, if it's yours, it stays. I told
This
them
is
that.
why a third party needed to come here, because of
What are you
this.
talking about third party, man?
Somebody that's not involved with
I'm not
them.
involved. That's why they came with me.
Not on the property. This is what I talked to the sergeant about this morning.
And the sergeant only heard your side of the story. 10-4. I still need someone 10-18. You can talk to me about this, not start shoving people out, man.
I didn't shove her. She shut the f***ing door. I even showed you. My foot is sitting there.
Dude.
I stopped the f***ing door.
I saw it, man.
Let me see this is my fucking house.
I saw it, man. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
She was walking out the door and I was shutting it behind her. They told her, wait, don't let him shut it. I fucking saw it. Because they didn't want me to lock the door until the sergeant got here. I'm not stupid either.
She had a box in her hand.
She was walking out and she pushed back. Oh my
So
God.
what's your response? You're going to shove her out, man?
No, I was
Yeah,
shutting
that's what
the
you
door. She leaned back into it.
And you shut the door with her in the doorway.
No, I had my foot sitting there. I said, watch. My hands ain't even on the f***ing door now.
Dude, I saw it, man. And my sergeant's going to get here and he's going to tell you the same thing. Because
Mom,
you didn't
can you
tell
get down
him the
here?
right side of the story.
Mom, can you get down here?
There's 2 sides to every story.
You know who was on the phone with me when she was beating on the hood of the truck when I was trying to leave? You know who was on the phone with me when she was trying to snatch the door handle off? When I sent the picture of the bruise on my goddamn arm and the claw marks? Look at this, ma'am. Look. Look at the freaking door.
Why didn't you call police when this happened?
I called my mom because I didn't know what to do. Then she told me that she didn't trust me because I got my family involved. I said it was either call the freaking police or call my mom.
You needed to call the police. I can't do anything about that now.
Here, I'll show you the picture because I sent it to my mom. Problem is that girl was a... And I think her past is freaking haunting the shit out of her.
Listen, the best thing for you guys is to part ways. If you're saying that some of this property is yours, then they can't take that property. I've been through that with you, man. That's literally all you had to tell me was, that's
I
mine,
didn't
don't
want
let them
them
take it.
here. A third party, a moving company.
That's not how it works. Even if they go through a TPO, they still have to come here and take their stuff. You have to go through the courts. Or you can be kosher about it and tell her what she can and can't take. That's what I was trying to explain to you.
I'm coming off Cabinet Creek. You'll still be around 776.
Mom, where's that picture from when my arm... There it is. There. That's the day it happened, and it turned bluer and bluer, and by the time my mom got down here, it was purple. And then what's that right there? What's that right there? Call marks. Think it don't happen? No.
10-4. I never said it didn't
She's
happen.
abusive as shit.
I never said it didn't happen.
And I can't
what
be
I'm
around this
so
stuff
worked
no more.
up about and what I'm trying to get this calm down is what just happened here, man.
I said that I didn't want them or their family
I
here.
understand,
And
but
I said that in a text to her
I
previously.
understand, but she has every
Previously.
right to this residence.
She does. They don't.
She resides here, so she gets to decide who visits here, man. That's how residencies work. Just like if you wanted me to leave, if she says I can stay, I can stay. I know it doesn't feel right to you, but that's just how it is. And that's why you got to go through the courthouse. And like I said, if there's stuff that's taken that you don't want to be taken, it stays. I went over that with her.
781. What's the road off of
I'm not trying to fight with you, man.
Campbell City Road?
This is the last thing I want to do.
I don't want her.
So we got her exes and her brother's exes and everybody else here and the mother-in-law who also started stuff.
If they're here to help her get
The
her
very
stuff, then that's
people-
it. They're just here to help her get her
I
stuff.
don't want her on your lap and bring off.
I have notified.
76 units you can reduce.
Hey, can Ralph speak to these people?
I mean, I mean, he can, but I don't know what he can.
The law's the law, man. I may not be a sergeant, but I know the law.
This is where I had to send her the pictures of me calling Lumpkin County this morning. This is the whole weird mess of whatever that she sent.
Are you showing the bruise from when you got hurt with the stretch?
What the hell are you talking about? You did that over there. Stretch was different. And I don't even want to talk to you right now.
The problem we're running into is her saying she lives here.
Yeah.
And you saying she hasn't lived here for months. That's why she's allowed to come in and take her stuff.
Yeah.
But if there's stuff that you say is
But what are
partially
these
belonging
other
to
people?
you,
I mean, that's wrong, because this is some of the people that we're having problems with.
But
Except
they're-
for the guy, which, you know, this is the first time I've ever met him, and he don't even know everything.
but they're allowed
So-
to help her move. That's why they're here.
I know that, but
If there's
they knew
any of
they
this stuff,
This was already something put out that she was not allowed to be over here, the mother. This was already put out. And I'm also head of this household on the deed.
I understand.
She is not on the deed.
I understand. But she has established residency, which is what I'm trying to explain.
All right, well then can you put criminal trespassing against him and have him removed?
It has to be a mutual thing since she has residency. But once she is gone, then yes, the answer is yes. There's my sergeant right there. You can talk to him. He's probably the one you talked to this morning.
Can you? She brought over, I think I'm the one that talked to you this morning when all that crap happened.
Okay,
She ended up bringing over her exes and all this other stuff.
okay.
Because remember I said I wanted a third party for something like that. This crap can happen. What can I do? At least just have them freaking removed. She can still have her stuff, but I think it just needs to be movers because, and I got PTSD and I can't deal with this.
Okay.
And
I understand if she's getting people to move here, it's not really a choice unless y'all come to an agreement as far as who she
well, we
chooses
don't
to
have
help.
an agreement.
That's what I'm saying, unless y'all come to an agreement,
Yeah.
you know, that's up to her. If she's moving all of her stuff
No,
out.
I'm saying, how does that make her 51 and me 49? If it's not a full agreement between each other, how does it automatically go to her?
It doesn't. So I mean,
So can you remove them except for her, and then she can get her stuff, and if she wants to hire somebody to come over and help her, but the other people need to leave. I've actually notified the other people before they weren't allowed to be over here, except for her ex, whatever he is. That's the only one that hasn't. I asked him to leave, and he won't leave.
okay. So,
But some of these people were already a part of the problem. And my mom, that's actually on the phone, she's actually been involved where she had to come back, she had to come down here because of something that happened.
I got you.
And that was
So
to
she-
prevent from calling the police when that happened.
Okay.
And Markeisha knows what she did because, yeah.
So would you stay in another room while they're moving stuff? You're still not okay with that?
No, I don't want them in the house.
Okay.
And we can do whatever we have to do with court, but I want them out.
Okay.
Except for Markeisha, if she can find somebody she can hire that's neutral,
Okay.
that has nothing to do with this, you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Then they can come in here.
Well, what I'm gonna do right now, because this is not essentials that she's getting furniture. I'm gonna call it off right now, and she's gonna need to schedule something, because this
Yeah.
is.
He's past
We're
the
only
15
allowed
minutes
15 minutes
anyways.
as far as getting essential items, and tables and stuff is not essential items, so I'm calling it right now, everybody needs to leave.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Mom, did you hear that?
Is she the other party involved?
I don't know. She's one of them, but the girlfriend or whatever is somewhere around here.
I'm trying to.
I got my mom also on the phone because my dad is Captain Kelly.
Still there?
Yes.
What's her name?
Markeisha.
Markeisha?
They're calling it. They're making the leave.
Markeisha in here?
They're calling the freaking baby up.
Markeisha? Okay, you need to stop what you're doing now, okay?
Yeah.
She's told you already 15 minutes, essential items, this is not essential
I
items.
live here.
I understand that, but because of the issues going on here, and we have to be here to keep the peace, this is not the time to do it, okay? I've got 3 of my 4 deputies right
So
here.
can I
at this
take
meeting.
pictures of the things that I have piled up downstairs in the basement for me to pack? And
By
then-
all means, sure, but like I said, as far as we can schedule something to work to do this, but right now, we're patrol deputies, I've got 3 of my 4 deputies here because of
Okay, I'm
stuff
sorry.
going on here, okay?
Can I talk to you?
Yes. So I just need y'all to wrap it up quickly as possible, okay?
is not the main problem. He is the one that started shoving the grandma in the door, like slamming the door on the grandma.
Okay.
And that's when I came over here and he was trying to slam me in the door.
Okay.
She is not the main problem. He is the main problem. I told them a million times that 15 minutes and then you're cut off. Then he said she can get what she wants, that's hers. I've got no problem with it. She can get it and she can go.
Okay.
Now he's changing it because you got here.
Okay.
So it's making me look like I don't know what I'm talking about and like I'm the bad guy.
And you've already expressed the 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay.
over and over. And I said 15 minutes, we're done.
Yeah.
And I told him about the courthouse.
They need to schedule as
Yep,
far
I
as.
told him that. So he's changing things after he just threw a tantrum and nearly freaking lost it on us.
Okay. Well, they need to wrap it up now because you've been out here more than 15 minutes already.
Yeah,
so.
well that's because this all blew up.
So who was it that got pushed into the door?
The grandmother,
Or so she's the other one in the dining room?
she's in there.
Okay.
Can she go ahead and leave since she's not doing anything?
They're getting wrapped up, sir.
You get pushed into the door at some point?
The door shut on her.
On her?
Slammed in the door
Okay.
and almost physically pushed. But she came up because I started hollering for her to come. I saw he was trying to push her out the door, so I hollered for her. She came up and he stopped and said, "Oh, I just have my foot in the door." When he's literally
No, I
shutting
saw
the
it from the
door.
distance.
You did see
I
it,
saw
yeah.
it.
So this is.
And then he tried to push you in the door?
Well, at that point I came over and then he started acting like he was trying to keep me from getting in.
Being aggressive. What are you doing? You told her you're being aggressive, you little baby. I need another unit 1018. Fucking up.
He didn't shove the door on me, but he did shove it on her. That's why I'm saying he's acting like the victim right now.
Where did it hit you?
She had a box in her hand and he's
So like
punching her in the door. That's why he doesn't want anybody here. So
I don't know, my car functioned. I don't know if my rotor is still working.
Yeah, mine don't.
Honestly, this wasn't as far as the extent of everything going on here, and I've only heard his side of the story. Okay. Like I told him, they're more, she's more than welcome to come get the stuff if he's welcome to it. But if she's a resident here, she can invite whoever she needs to move her belongings. That's not
Will
a
you
choice
express
he can,
that to him, please?
Yeah, it's not a choice he can make.
Because that's the whole reason he blew up.
Well, he's the one that involved those. He called my husband and started bad mouthing.
He doesn't get to he doesn't
The
get to
reason
decide
why
who
he blew
moves-
up was
who moves
because
her.
of that. So
Unless he's got a restraining order against any particular
no, he
person.
doesn't. I checked everything.
Then there's nothing that he could say in that matter. Because if she lives here, she invites you to this property to help her move her things. He has no choice in the matter.
They have a loan together. Her name is on the title of that new truck.
Okay.
And
Are you heard it all from the door?
I don't.
County 776, all units 1081.
Do you need to go to the restroom and look?
I think I'm okay.
Or I could step in if you need to.
If you want to show me,
It happened so fast, and I was shocked.
no,
by
I'm
it that
sure.
I-
Yeah, I'm
I-
sure you had
you
your
know,
adrenaline going.
Mhm.
Probably still is a little.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand.
and
Lumpkin County
he didn't.
776, if you
He's-
can copy
Oh, no
1081.
need.
He
Well, we want that for.
He literally had very few things in this house. She brought it all in.
Enforce.
I mean, it still doesn't give him a reason to blow up or even assault anybody in any way, shape, or
No,
form.
he started locking
Because
the
he's
doors.
upset. Now, if he's upset, he should have secluded himself in a room.
That's what I told him. I said if you have any problem with what they're taking, which you've said that they can take it and they can leave.
Yeah.
If you've got any problem with that, then you need to let me know and they will leave it.
Yeah, and that's what I told him too on the phone.
And then he's alleging some domestic abuse,
Last unit 109.
but he didn't call law enforcement at the time.
He told me about that earlier, but didn't wish to disclose any information as far as to report it.
Yeah, well now he's blowing the whistle on it, and he wants
The
to.
bruises on his arms, he sent me a text and showed me that he said that there was an incident with the horse.
Well, he didn't call police when it happened either, so we
But I
can't
wasn't
prove that
here.
those bruises even came from, like, if it were you, you know? So you
I
don't
got
have
a
much to worry
text
about.
message where he, okay.
Yeah. We're not saying you did it. We're not saying.
But we do gotta cut this off because this has gone way over the 15.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, well, what?
Yeah.
So you gotta
I'm just
talk
talking
to
to her
the
as far as the
courthouse.
assault that took place
Okay.
here. Everything else, if you're able to wrap it up.
Okay.
You want to get the rest of your china? Some of it's
Mom's
packed up?
China?
Yeah, I was trying
But we
to.
need
But
to.
he needs me to stop.
Yeah, we need to stop now
Yeah.
and we need to come back because right now it's.
So when did? When
You gotta
did she
schedule an
need to
appointment
do?
with the courthouse.
Yeah, and they can
Courthouse
actually-
deputies can come out here and spend an extended period of
They
time.
can spend hours out here if need be, but like I said, I've got most of my road guys out here, and we allow 15 minutes for
Yeah,
keep the
okay.
peace,
What
and
if-
it's gone past that
I know,
15 minutes.
They told us and we appreciate it. So what if we change
get your
the lock
contact
on the
information?
doors? Can he legally do that? When she has
It's one of those he can't deprive her access to the property. If she's a resident here and she lives here, he
I
cannot
ran out
deprive
of
her
case
access.
cards, so I'm just gonna have to write it down on a sticky note, okay? Appreciate you.
He can't deprive her access to the property. If she's a resident, she lives here, he can't deprive her access of it. Now, if you voluntarily get all your belongings and leave, at that point, he can say you no longer live here. He can have you trespass from the property.
That's the
So that's
main-
only after you've removed all your stuff. You say, I don't need to go there for anything else anymore. But if you live here, he can't deprive you any access to the property. Okay?
Because I'm not going to be here without anybody, so.
he's
No,
dangerous.
so what the whole thing is, you need to schedule it with,
Yeah,
with law enforcement. I'll get you the number for it. And they can send 1, 2, however many deputies that they think may be needed up here for an extended period of time. Okay?
And you need to tell them about what happened today, so that at least they'll send 2.
So, so actually they're here for that detail, so I can inform them if it goes from there. But as far as we just need to, if there's anything essential you need to get it now.
Did you get all your clothes?
Yeah.
It's been 15 minutes.
Yeah. So we need to go.
So start complaining about us being out here.
Okay.
So
So I left all that plastic laying on the floor. So you gonna complain about that, the wrapping paper?
he can complain all he wants to. But as far as the assault, as far as him hitting you in the door and everything, are you wanting to press charges at all?
If he gets super ugly with her and not allow, I will.
Well, I'm just saying, just based off of you hitting the door, it's not a circumstantial thing. This is an incident that took
Yeah, I know.
place.
Yes,
It
Mom.
can't be as a blackmail.
If Dave-
Hell,
if Dave
only if
was
this
here,
happens, then I'll press
He
charges.
wouldn't be happy.
Yeah.
And William wouldn't be happy either.
So that would be up to you. Like I said, it's got to be a now thing, not a stuff
So
stuff
if I
happens
press
later.
charges, what are the results?
He'd most likely be taken to jail for simple assault, unless you've got like visible injuries that we can document
Yeah.
and notate.
I don't know. I mean, I just hit the door, so I don't know that there's going to be anything visible.
Either way, it would just change the verbiage of the charge itself, but he would go to jail regardless.
Either way, it would just change the verbiage of the charge itself, but he would go to jail regardless.
And it's honestly up to you. She invited you here. She's a resident here. You had a reason to be here, okay?
Right.
As far as what he did to you, that's unacceptable. So it's your choice because you're not in a relationship with him. It's not under the Family Violence Act. It's not like we're mandatory to take action because you are not under the family violence for him. It is solely your choice.
And if he's taken away, she can continue to get her belongings.
If she lives here, I can't control
Well,
that.
I
I have zero control over that. But right now, it's over the 15 minutes. She's welcome to stay. I would advise her not to.
No, she's not. He's
Yeah,
dangerous.
I would advise her not to, but I can't remove her from the property if she lives here, if that makes sense. But that choice would be up to you and you alone. And she witnessed it, so
I did witness it.
she could easily take out charges. She saw it. That'd be up to you.
It's probably on my body camera, too.
Was I completely out the door? It happened so fast, I don't remember.
No, you were in the middle of the door. It's up to you.
I don't want it. Oh. Hey. Hello. Well, no, they're standing here right now. The police are standing here right now.
I'll talk to you for a second.
Well, they haven't even written up a report yet.
You're good to hang out right there. Yeah, I'm just talking to her before. So did that happen right when you got here? Kind of walk me through what happened.
No, so they came up here, they were getting their stuff. He was down there on the forklift, or the, whatever it was, and he was doing yard work down there. He saw us. I saw him, I waved at him, he waved back at me. Well, then he pulls the forklift up and around when I go out to my car to grab some water, and he's like shaking mad, like you can see him. He's shaking.
He's still
mad.
shaking.
No, I know. First contact, shaking mad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey man.
But she says he's got PTSD, which that's okay, sure.
I was like, hey man, what's going on? And he was like, I'm so anxious and I don't know what to do. And I was like, I mean, well, tell me about it. Tell me what's going on. And he was like, well, I talked to the desk sergeant or something this morning, and he said that they could not be here and that was a criminal trespass issue. And
so as far as what he told me, she hadn't been here in 6 months.
Right. That's
which
what
I'm
I told
like,
him.
and he says all of her stuff is gone. Okay.
Well, that's what I explained to him. I was like, according to you, she's not been here for several months. She's moved out. According to her, she still lives here. And I said, it's her word against yours at this point. All her stuff's here. And I said, if you don't want her to take
And her license says at this address.
Yeah, that's what I told him. And I said, if you don't want her to take these things, she has to leave them. I said, I've explained that to her. And I said, they've got 15 minutes to get their stuff. If you don't want her to take specific things, then she can't take them. And I said, she's got every right to be here because she's established residency here. She says she lives here. It's on her driver's license. And he was like, but she doesn't live here. And he was like, well, I don't want these people here because they don't live here. They've got no right to this house.
But she's invited by
That's what I said. I said she's a resident. She has every right to invite people to her house.
Yep.
And you can't kick them out, frankly. And he mainly just got fired up because of the specific people that are here helping her move. So he goes over there, gets right in the older guy's face, and like starts yelling. I can't hear what he's doing, but I see him yelling. And then the older guy and the daughter come over to me, and they're like, he's being really aggressive. I'm like, yeah, I just saw that. Well, the grandma, she was walking out with the box full of things, and he had began to lock all the doors. And as she was walking out, they said, hey, hold the door. So she just stops in the doorway, and he takes the door and, like, tries to shove her out with the door. So I see her, like, see him shove her in the door.
So I see her, like, see him shove her in the door.
And then, you know, she wasn't moving. So, if you give us just a second, bub. And, she wasn't moving, and by that time I'm running over there. I'm sprinting over there to break it up. So I get over there, and then he changes it to where he's like got his foot at the door so you can't push it anymore. Well, I get her out of the way and I shove the door open. And I get in there, and then he's wanting to lock the door behind me and just have me and him in there. And I said, no, we're not doing that. We're not even shutting this door. And I went and I put my foot there, and it shut the door, and he looked at me. And I thought at that point he was going to start swinging, but he didn't. So then he started going into the living room and like pacing and stuff. And he started yelling at me. I started yelling at him. And I told him to calm the frick down. And eventually he started calming down. So, I mean, it took me getting to his level for him to calm down. But then he started calming down, and I was able to talk to him a little more.
Okay. So...
Well, I was on the phone with my husband. And he feels like that. He said, is the fear of God in him? And I said, no. He said, are you hurt? Do you need to go to the hospital? I said, I said, Dave, I'm a wreck right now. But he said, I think
there's a lot of emotions going on here. So.
Yeah.
But it's up to you. Okay, like I said, it's not under the Family Violence Act as far as the state charges go. So as far as what you wish to press, it's solely up to you.
If I press charges and then I decide to drop them, what does that do? No.
It's pointless at that point.
It is pointless.
Yeah. So if he gets...
if you want to press charges just in order to like a day or two down the road to drop them, then no.
It's not worth it.
No, because it's essentially with you being the victim of the crime, you'd have to go to court and testify as the victim. Okay.
And at that point, it's almost considered retaliation.
Yep. You're only doing it because of something that happened.
Right.
That's how they see it. So it's not I'm doing this because he assaulted me. It's like, I'm only going to press charges if I don't get what I need or if I don't get.
Right. So if you do it, you got to stick to it.
Yep.
Yeah, my daughter. See, her father was abusive, and I never pressed charges against him. She said, "Mom, don't be nice."
But don't let anyone else
No, it
affect
should
your
be
opinion.
your decision. It
You need
happened to you.
Yeah, you need to put yourself back where you just were for just a minute and decide if you want to press charges or not.
When I was in the dining room, he said, "Miss Denise, I need you to leave," and I need you to leave right now. And he locked that door, locked the front door, and I said, "Well, I'm just trying to help her get her things.
I understand.
I need you to leave now." And he talked like he had the sheriff's department coming out or somebody else coming out. That's why
I had my
started
sergeant
walking
on the way. That was it.
Yeah, I was on my way up here
So
already.
if he had gotten me out of the door,
766 Lumpkin.
What do you mean?
if I had stepped completely out of the door and he locked the door behind us, none of us could have gone back in.
I'm not saying
No,
that because, like I said, he can't deprive access
Right.
to the property from her.
Because she lives here.
But he's got issues, so that's why I don't want her being here by herself.
Which I don't think she should be here by herself at all. I don't by any means.
Because he has shoved her.
But this,
And,
so. But it's like I said, it'd be up to you as far as the victim in it. So.
you consider it assault? I'm trying to get some.
So the charge,
legal
just by
visual.
itself, like I said, without seeing your injuries visible, it would be simple assault.
Or simple battery.
Or simple battery, just it depends. We have to go
Because
into the details.
because he pushed me
Yeah, there's
out.
physical contact with you. Yes. They trying to reach me?
No.
No.
Well,
So,
he didn't put his hands on me.
even
No,
if
he just
used
used the door.
door to push you out, that's still a simple battery. If it doesn't leave a mark, if it did leave a mark, it could be considered battery. But that would be up to your injuries itself. If there are any, if you'd like to look like she said, that's up to you. The gentleman can walk away. Your daughter can look at it.
I was trying to see what. I was trying to see.
If you would, please reiterate to him that she has every right to have people help her move.
Let me go talk to him real quick.
I was like this, and I turned around like this.
Okay.
Box in your hand too, and
Yeah.
way out.
I know. It probably already is. He's getting more amped up as we speak.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm not trying to rush you or anything.
Mom, you gotta make a decision.
Take a deep breath. Put yourself back where you were for just a second.
Mm-hmm.
And I need you to tell me, what would you do if this was your daughter?
If it was my daughter,
Yep.
yeah, I'd call the police.
Okay. What would you advise your daughter to do?
Call the police.
And take charges or no take charges?
I think if he was physical at this point, and I think that it.
Because he's getting heated right now.
I know.
And
Yeah,
if I
I
have
know,
to
Mom.
arrest him, we're
You
going to
wanna
have to
do it
fight
right
him.
now.
We're going to have to fight him. It's up to you. Totally up to you.
I can't
You can't say anything.
I can't say anything.
I just don't want him to do
Well,
it.
I know it's
Do you
gonna
want to
happen.
check her chest area?
I don't think any. Oh, we don't. See, I hit the door. It's getting here. I don't think it's going to show anything.
It hits you pretty hard.
Yeah.
I know you had a box in your hand, but it kind of
Yeah.
hit the box and then went over.
Dave says so. Robert
Dave.
says so.
Dave and Bill both said you need to press charges. He said, because the way he is.
Well, the thing is that it's only going to go from here, and I definitely need to go down and do it. I was advised earlier
To get a
with a
TPO.
TPO, but this is exactly what happened with
This will
Tim.
help with the TPO as well.
It will. Well, and I'll press charges on him.
You want to press charges?
He's been, yeah,
Official?
official.
Mine made up. Here we go. If you guys will stay away, please. 95.
Because that was when we split after she. You showed up down here.
She's been over there periodically to get stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so
She's been packing stuff out of here.
Okay.
And then there's a large break of her not coming back.
Okay.
I'm retired military with an FS-86 freaking FBI background check done. I got security clearances and all this shit. You know, I might have anxiety now, but no, I ain't no freaking.
So as far as what happened here with the door, that's my concern currently.
All right, the door was locked.
Okay.
And I'm not locking y'all in.
Oh, you're good.
The door was locked.
Okay.
The table was still here. There was a couple, she had a box and she went to go grab a couple of, what do you call them, lamps.
Okay.
And then I reached over, because the chair was still here, the table was there. And I went like that, and I said, Danita, you gotta go. My mom was on the phone. She kept hearing me say that, Danita, you have to leave. I'm waiting for the sergeant to get here. So right when she started walking out, and it got about right here, one of them said, nah, because they knew I had the doors locked. And then she slammed back into it, and I had my foot right here. And even whenever she was trying to say that I held it at first. But then when they were trying to say, oh, help me, and I said, look, and I went like that, and my foot was still holding the door. And my mom even heard what they said at the door. They told her to go hurry up and block it. So no, they're playing games, which is exactly why I knew that they should not even have been here.
Okay. So, and as far as that goes, we'll address it.
Yeah.
But right now, I just need you to turn around for me.
Sir, I didn't attack her. I put my... Mom, I'm getting arrested, and I didn't even attack her. Yes, I'm getting arrested. Yes. Sir, I didn't attack her. I put my...
Okay.
Can you please remove them from the property?
I physically and literally can't. She's a resident here. If she invites anybody over here, I can't control that. Okay. I understand you don't like them being on your property. I can't legally ask them to leave. Okay.
That's unbelievable.
I even called them this morning because I knew this was going to happen.
Do you want me to turn
My
your
mother
wrist?
was actually on the phone, sir. Can I please talk to you and give you my side? Because can somebody show me some camera footage that shows me doing this to her?
She's got it on her body camera.
Can I see it?
It's still recording.
Right now is not the. We can't pop it up to you.
Do you want me to switch your wrist around, or are you okay?
I don't care.
I'm gonna
Because
switch your
I'm
wrist.
just kind of blown away right now.
I understand. So,
I am too. This is just crazy.
Mom, can you have Dad call the Sheriff Stacy?
Oh, my
Please.
God. Are you talking about Ralph?
Yes, have Ralph please call Sheriff Stacy.
hope you got it.
Is my key's not working?
No. Do y'all have a contact for Sheriff Stacy?
I do. If you give me just a second.
Mom, he's going to give you a contact.
7-3.
Are those people gonna still be there?
Yeah, they're allowing them. They're going to allow them.
Switch your wrist around.
And then they're gonna let people go in?
Mom, I don't know.
This is just insane.
You got it?
Yep.
Okay.
I can guarantee that.
What's your mother's name?
I'm gonna take you to the
I'm
car.
sorry, what?
Have you got anything in your pockets?
I don't know.
Is there anything
Nothing.
in your wallet or
No, I
anything?
don't. No, I don't have it. My wallet's in there in the bedroom.
Okay. You want to grab it and bring it with you? Okay. If you want to walk with me.
Can I lock my machine up out there too?
Your forklift thing?
Yes.
Bobcat?
So what's...
What?
Can I get them to throw some dog food out?
We'll handle the dog.
They'll handle
The dog food is underneath that thing.
We'll take care of it.
All
Get
right.
your dogs taken care of. We'll have food and water laid out. 3 sets of keys. 1, 2, 3. Wallet, cash. It's gonna go in my front seat. driver's license?
Ma'am?
You have your driver's
I
license?
do.
I need you as a witness if you don't
sure,
mind.
absolutely.
Can I get your driver's license?
Yes.
One day, huh?
Well, I said he wasn't showing his butt, but then kind of
All of a
jinxed it.
sudden, yeah. 2 minutes later, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's all.
And it didn't have to be this way.
Yeah.
And we will get that accomplished today, to where she does not have to be back here,
Ever.
Okay.
ever.
So like I said, you've got residency here, so you don't have to leave. And he's leaving, so you can do what you got to do.
What's gonna be the process with him after this, like,
He'll have to see a judge, more than likely. Cause
he can't just go post bail and get out in a few hours?
no, he's more than likely gonna have to see a judge.
Okay.
And if it's the weekend, it's probably not even gonna be till Monday.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that. Sometimes the judge feels a little nice and they'll do something on Sunday. But
Hopefully he's fishing.
yeah. So
we'll be able to get all the stuff
he'll
out.
have to see a judge. He'll have to post bond. More than likely, what happens is the judge will set like a TPO, where he can't come back to this residence. I don't know if that's going to be the case with you being the victim. But since this all started over you being here with your family and friends, he might. So I don't know for sure. But
He would start this process, the TPO, or
the judge
might.
Judge might.
Okay.
So we gotta talk to the
She
judge.
gets all her belongings
But we
out.
have
She
24
doesn't
hours,
want-
you would
she
say.
doesn't want to
Carefully.
come back.
We have 20, we're here to just
Well,
get
I
your
want
stuff.
to, and my horses are next door, so I want to
But
come
they're
back
on-
and get the horses.
They're
But
on
they're
someone
not on
else's
his property.
They're not on this
They're on the
property.
neighbor's property.
So we're looking at Monday.
You'd have
You'll
to
be
get
out.
consent from your neighbors.
Right, yeah.
Sure.
So.
That's not the horses aren't an issue. And, yeah.
Well, from I went told me that I could come take care of the horses.
Do
No,
you
let's-
have your
let's-
driver's license on you again? I didn't think I was gonna need it again like this.
Is that the finger of life?
Creation of man, God
Yeah,
created
of
man.
life.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah.
You thought we wouldn't get this. We wouldn't.
It
ugly.
never gets like this. When he started shoving you in the door, I was like, oh gosh.
And I'm glad that you stood your
That's the
ground with
reason
that,
why I
because
didn't.
it's
Yeah.
like we can talk until we're blue in the face, and
And you were right there,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah,
were right
absolutely.
there. Yeah. And
He
you
was-
saw him shoving her in the door.
100%.
Can I get you to write a voluntary statement?
Absolutely, you
Awesome,
can.
awesome. That'd be
Because
so
all
cool.
that bull crap about that he's telling his mom, it's just
Thank you.
it's just not the case, and we're not here to cause trouble.
Really
If we literally
I
could
know,
roll
I
up
know what
here.
I'm doing.
Yeah.
I've never been in anything like this before.
Well, that's the reason they were called, to keep in trouble. We didn't want it.
But
And he was behaving really well at first, and then he came around back and confronted me. You okay? 1 to 10, how bad? Okay. Yeah, it's against policy, sir. It's just, it's facts and circumstances and testimony at the time. That's why we're doing this. Then you can fight it in court and it'll get dismissed.
How do I get like a copy of that?
Open records request. You go, usually a few days, like 3 to 4 days.
See a digital record of it or
It depends. Usually they print off a paper copy of the report, and then they can give you a digital copy of the body camera footage.
and that's on a disc or like on a
I'm not sure.
okay.
and then like where in the story do I need to start writing?
Where we're taking charges. So like he was locking the door, she was coming out, he pushed her in the door.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go sit down. To do
Yeah,
this.
that's
okay.
fine. Any one of y'all want to write a statement? You don't have to.
Whatever you need us to do.
Statements just help in court.
So I just need to start right then when we were at the door, right?
You can start a little bit before if you want.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter. What we're taking charges for is when he slammed her in the door.
Okay.
So that's what's important. Y'all want to write anything? Any statements?
Sure.
Yep.
I will.
How many? One?
I want one. You want one? Sure.